Hey guys, Wolf of Dimensions here, and as the video says, I will be talking about Obi-Wan's importance to the Star Wars universe. Now, all of you might be saying, Wolf, you fool! How could you describe anything more about Obi-Wan's usefulness throughout the Star Wars series? It's like almost unparalleled what he did and what he accomplished. Yes, but I'm gonna dig a bit deeper. Obi-Wan, as you might have noticed, isn't really particularly strong with the Force. Not in capabilities, anyways. Of course, he plays his major role, which I will talk about right now. His major role is that of training Anakin Skywalker first, teaching him how to be a Jedi after his master, who had died in the Battle of Naboo, said to train him. Said he would be the chosen one. So he trains Anakin Skywalker for about 11, 10, 12 years, I think was the time span. And everything goes kinda okay. And by kinda, I mean it kinda was pretty bad how their relationship was. But moving on. After training him about just before the Clone Wars end, Anakin switches over to the dark side. And eventually he fights and maims him and damages him to the point where he cannot be the chosen one in an extent. It works like this. Here's the first key point. Obi-Wan's first major importance is that he hurt and crippled Darth Vader horribly. Now, you might be saying, well, he shouldn't have. That was his friend. If anything, he should have killed him out of mercy. Wrong. Yes, he should have probably had killed him. I won't deny you that that was pretty bad what he did. But if he would have done that, it probably wouldn't have done the Force any good. And what I mean by that is that him hurting Anakin stopped Anakin from becoming an all-powerful warmonger and emperor, and kind of made him this person who had to learn from his mistakes and become more humble. And you might be saying, Wolf, Darth Vader, humble? Are you kidding me? And yes, I'm gonna say yes. Darth Vader may have been cruel, horrible, and hated a lot of people, but he was smart, and he was humble, and he knew what failure tasted like. And that was a key part. He knew what failure was, and because of that, he decided to think through more situations. And that's what a key importance is. It was him seeing that he wasn't perfect, and that helped him on his pathway to becoming the chosen one. Next key point is hiding the children. Because the fact he hid them, mostly in places Anakin would never look, it set up the pathway for the son becoming the moderator and becoming the next chosen one in order to lead the first one back onto the right path. Now, Obi-Wan has a certain type of way of treating Luke, especially differently than he did Anakin. He has a more reserved nature, a more complicated nature, and a more secretive one. A big part of this is how he says to Luke, he says the famous line, Luke, you're going to learn that, he's going to say, it's like, you told me that Luke said, you told me that Darth Vader betrayed and murdered my father. And Obi-Wan said, he did from a certain point of view. And this belief here, which is how this whole vision of point of view sets up Obi-Wan it sets up Obi-Wan's whole view for the rest of his training with Luke and the rest of his view as his Force Ghost. Now, his whole view of this comes from one line, in my opinion. He tells Anakin on the Battle of Mustafar, Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. Anakin states this one line, which helps change, in my opinion, Obi-Wan for the rest of his life and after death. Anakin says, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. And this shaped Obi-Wan's role in how he believed things. Because to certain people, certain situations looked different. And because of that, sometimes you can't change what people believe. And he now finally understood this. And it was really difficult for him because, that was his friend. So, afterwards, his training with Luke, he finally finished, led him on the right path, and Luke grew to become the person who could help Darth Vader turn back to Anakin Skywalker. No, he wasn't powerful. That was his main purpose. I just stated in a good meat part of this video, but he wasn't a powerful Force user. Qui-Gon Jinn wasn't either. They're not good at Force abilities, but they're good at reading and understanding what the Force wants. Except Obi-Wan, after the Battle of Mustafar, isn't as into it as Qui-Gon was. He is an interpreter. Obi-Wan's an interpreter, and even though he doesn't know the will of the Force perfectly, he knows what role Luke plays, and he knows what Qui-Gon had taught him. So that was really why he was so important. The way he affected the outcome of the story was huge. He wasn't a great fighter either, and we can see this by how many times he gets injured in the prequels, and by the fact that he had to give up and accept that he was not going to live after facing Darth Vader. Well, this has been a great video, guys. Wolf of Dimensions signing off. Thank you. Watch again sometime. Bye.